Okay. Okay. So now we are done with the calculation, or how to find now the sum of a finite geometric series. Now let's move on to infinite geometric series. Okay, infinite geometric series is indicated sum of an infinite geometric sequence. Meaning, yung geometric sequence natin meron siyang ellipsis. Kasi nga, infinite siya. So, ang formula natin for this one is not like that of the finite geometric series. Okay, wherein we have the value of n. For this one, we do not have the value of n since it is infinite, continuous siya. So we have this formula, which is s is equal to the first term over 1 minus the common ratio. Okay? Now, kapag ang series natin ay infinite geometric series, therefore, ang ratio natin or the absolute value of our ratio, absolute value of our ratio should be less than 1. Okay? So we can conclude for the sum of that particular infinite geometric series. Kasi if it's not equal to 1, or if it is not greater than, or if the ratio or common ratio is greater than 1, we cannot really calculate for the sum of this particular infinite geometric series. And it makes the series divergent. Now, if the common ratio is less than 1, or the absolute common ratio, absolute value of the common ratio is less than 1, then we can say that the series is convergent. Okay? Hindi ito yung convergent tsaka divergent na papanood ha, iba yun. Okay, and what is this convergent and divergent series na tinatawag natin sa geometric series? Okay, so let's have this example over here from Number Sense 101. I can attach the link in his video after this discussion maybe. So, ito yung example dun ni Sir. Okay? Wherein, we have to identify if the sequence or the infinite geometric sequence is a convergent or divergent geometric sequence. Now, if you can notice here, meron tayong tinatawag na ellipsis. Okay? So it indicates that this geometric pattern over here, geometric sequence, is an infinite geometric series kasi it's never ending. Now, we want to find out if this geometric sequence is convergent or divergent. Okay? Pero kung titignan pa lang natin kasi, it makes it convergent already kasi it involves ratios. Okay? It involves proportions, or it involves fractions, which makes this number now less than 1. Now, in order to prove that, kailangan natin mag-calculate muna. Okay? So, ang sabi natin kanina, yung sum ng geometric pattern is equal to the first term. Okay, our first term is a sub 1 over 1 minus r. So this indicates now the sum of the pattern. And we know that our a sub 1 here, our values are a sub 1. Okay. We have a sub 1 is equal to 1. And our common ratio will be, that is 1 over 5 divided by 1 over 1. That is equal to 1/5 also. So, meron tayong common ratio of 1/5. 1/5 here, guys, is 1/5 is less than 1, right? Kasi 1/5 is a part of 1. Therefore, we can say that this pattern over here is convergent. Sana all senior. Okay? Bakit? Madali lang natin mahanap yung kanyang sum. Kasi nga, convergent siya. Ibig sabihin, yung common ratio niya is mas maliit sa 1. Ibig sabihin, meron siyang hangganan. Hanggang 1 lang. Ang mahirap kasi is kung yung ating common ratio ay 3. Halimbawa, 3, 4, 5, whole number siya na greater than 1. Mahirap nating hanapin. It makes it divergent. Okay? Okay, so since this is convergent, the sequence is convergent geometric pattern. Now, the question is, ano ang kanyang sum? So, paano natin siya kukunin? So, tanggalin muna natin to para, ayan, katante ato. Okay, we are going to use this formula now. S is equal to A sub 1 over 1 minus R to determine now the sum of this particular geometric pattern. Which is okay, so let's try to find out. So RS is equal to, the first term is 1 over 1 minus 1/5. Now, evaluating this fraction over here, we have 1 over 1, that is 5, sorry, that is 5 minus 1 over 5, right? Okay, so that is 5 minus 1, that is 1 over 4 over 5. Okay, paano natin gagawin to? So, meron pa tayo 1 over 4, sorry, that is 1 divided by 4 over 5. So, meron tayong imaginary 1 dyan. Babalikan natin yung fraction ninyo. And then, instead of getting the reciprocal of 4 and 5, we just go for cross multiplication. And this makes it, bilang 4 meron ng 5, meron tayong isa, may natirang isa, and 1 and 1. So, the sum of this particular pattern over here, wherein it is convergent, is 1 and 1/4. Okay, so next, let's have example number 2 here, wherein we have 4 plus 12 plus 36. Now, let's see if the equation or this particular pattern exists or not exist, or is it convergent or divergent. Now, kung titignan natin, dito pa lang sa pattern, madedetermine na natin hindi ito mag-exist. Okay? Or yung sum is hindi siya mag-exist. Kasi nga, wala siyang, hindi involve ang rational numbers dito. Kasi puro siya whole. Pero try natin siyang i-prove. So, we have here, S is equal to, the first term is 4. So, 4 over 1 minus our common ratio for this part is 3, right? Yes, 3. Kasi we have 12 divided by 4, that's 3. 36 divided by 2 is 3. So, we are multiplying a constant number, which is 3. Okay. So, let's try to evaluate this one. As you can see, R is 3 and this is greater than 1. So, R is greater than 1. Or the absolute value of R is greater than 1. So, we cannot say that the sum exists because the R or the common ratio is greater than 1. Let's try to see. So, we have 4 over 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Okay, and we have 4 over 2. We have negative 2. Okay, can we accept now this kind of sum? Hindi, kasi wala naman tayong sum na negative in form. So, kasi dito pa nga lang sa ating common ratio, this is diverge already. Diverge or divergent yung ating series. So, kapag ka divergent or mas malaki niya siya sa 1, huwag na kayo magpro-proceed dito sa calculation dito. Okay? Hindi na siya pwede. Kasi nga, ang makakalculate nyo doon is a number which is not acceptable to be considered as a sum of this particular geometric pattern. Kasi kung makikita nyo, nung kinalculate natin siya, negative yung number. And there is no such thing as negative number that exists in finding the sum of a particular pattern. Okay, let's have another example for the sum of finite series. Okay. Again, let me just write the formula for the finite series before we proceed to calculation. So, our formula is equal to a sub 1, di kasha, equal to a sub 1 over 1 minus r. So now, let us determine if this pattern over here, or this geometric pattern over here, has a sum. This is infinita. Meron ba tong sum or wala? Okay. So, alam natin na meron siyang sum kung ang kanyang common ratio ay diverge. Converge. Wala siyang sum kung diverge. So, let's try to figure out first if this pattern is diverge. So, to do that, let's find first the common ratio of these two numbers. So, we have 1 over 2 divided by 1 over 6. And that is equal to cross multiplication. You have 6 over 2. And that is 3. Right? Next, let's have this pattern over here. We have 3 over 2 divided by 1/2. And that is cross multiplication natin. So, magiging 6 over 2. Again, that is 3. Now, the common ratio of this pattern over here is 3. Nasabi natin kanina, the absolute value of r should be less than 1. So, para mag-exist yung sum ng ating geometric sequence. Since our r here is not less than 1, because r is greater than 1, wherein r is equal to 3, therefore, this pattern over here is divergent. Divergent or diverge. Okay. If the pattern is diverge, then the sum does not exist. Okay. Next, we have the number over here. So, first, ang hanapin muna natin is yung kanyang common ratio. So, if we are dividing 1 into 1/2, ilan yun? So, we have, try natin siyang divide. So, 1/2 divided by 1 or 1, that's still 1, and that is equal to 1 over 2. Syempre, okay? Next, we have 1 over 4 divided by 1/2. That is equal to 2 over 4 or 1/2. Therefore, our common ratio here is 1/2. Take note, yung sabi natin, the absolute value of the common ratio should be less than 1. The common ratio here is 1/2 and 1/2 is less than 1. Therefore, the pattern is converge. Okay. Now, if the pattern is converge or if the common ratio is less than 1, we can say that the sum exists. So, next part, we have to calculate for the sum. Okay? So, kunin natin to. Delete natin para meron tayong space. Galit na si teacher. Okay. So, meron tayong 1/2 as its ratio. So, let's calculate now for the sum of the geometric pattern. Okay. Get red tayo. So, the formula for the sum is equal to the first term over 1 minus r. The value of our first term is 1 over 1 minus the common ratio is 1/2, right? So, we have 1 over 1 minus 1/2 is equal to 1/2, correct? Siyempre, yung whole, binawasan mo ng kalahati, may iwan ay kalahati. Now, to determine the fraction, try natin, long method natin to. So, 1 divided by 1/2, cross multiplication, you have 2 over 1. So, the sum, okay, the sum of this geometric pattern over here is 2. Take note, positive yung kanyang answer. Kasi pag negative yung hindi nag-exist yung ating sum. So, ganun lang sa pag-determine ng ating geometric pattern. Again, our formula is Wait lang, select natin to. Our formula for geometric pattern okay, the formula for our geometric pattern is for infinite series. And series is equal to sum. Okay, so the formula is yung ginawa natin kanina. That is S sub n. S sub n. S lang. The sum is equal to the first term over 1 minus r, wherein r, or the absolute value of r, is less than 1. So, take note of this condition over here. Okay. Ayan. Take note nyo ito. Pag sinabi natin less than 1, okay, less than 1, those numbers are set of fractions. Okay, fractions. So that is for the sum of infinite geometric sequence.